I don't lift weights because they're heavy. I don't run because it makes me tired. That was a phrase I used to say when asked about the prospect of going to the gym. Have you ever wondered how and why CrossFitters, bodybuilders, even power walkers have the profound desire to keep doing what they do? It becomes a lifestyle for some people, but from the outside looking in, it almost seems ridiculous to willfully put yourself through physical exertion for the fun of it. Nickoli Spence's life has been surrounded by fitness. CrossFit competitions while being deployed in Kuwait, helping build the Fit Club gym in Las Vegas, and running a natural medicine clinic alongside his father, Dr. Terry Spence. He works out to get more out of life and says that when the body is healthy, the mind is more efficient. Exercise can help you deal with life and take advantage of what it has to offer so much better.
My dad has been in natural medicine for 40 years, so like if your dad was a mechanic and you just have all this knowledge about cars for no reason, you don't know why, that's how I am with natural medicine supplements. I grew up in a household always talking about just, the natural way to do stuff. And so basically exercise is going to be a healthy, without looking at it first, a healthy alternative to dealing with mental health than other ways, right? Drugs, alcohol, psych, like all the other stuff, it can help with mental health, but like what I've learned about life is when something's easy or it's a shortcut, you're going to have a consequence down the road.
Depression and anxiety often lead to numbing alternatives, which, if not done in moderation, lead to serious problems down the road. According to the Anxiety and Depression Associations of America Alcohol, around 17 million Americans suffer from depression and 40 million suffer from anxiety. It's common for alcohol, drugs, or even food to temporarily help us fill this void. Working out can help fill that void without the negative side effects.
Because they're going through a breakup or you lose somebody, you have a withdrawal stage. Because usually when you have someone in your life, you get endorphins released from being around them, like the love chemical, hugging, like doing stuff with them. It is literally pumping chemicals into your bodies. When you lose somebody, you have like this withdrawal, literally a physical withdrawal. So like I was like, all right, I don't have this person anymore in my life. How can I replace that chemical until I can like get over my hangover that I'm having, my withdrawal?
There are four main chemicals responsible for happiness: endorphins, the painkiller; dopamine, the reward chemical; oxytocin, the love chemical; and serotonin, the mood stabilizer. Studies show that exercise, specifically joining a workout group, can hack all four.
You're learning to hack your body with these chemicals through physical movement. And honestly, I think exercise and the idea of exercising hits all of them. Like the physical exercise definitely releases endorphins and adrenaline, which is the painkillers and the excitement, because that's what it releases. But it's the things around exercise that releases the dopamine, the oxytocin, and other stuff. Because when you're working out a long time, you're in community, so there's connection there. You're vibing with people because they're also at the gym a lot, right? And then you got the reward chemical because you just accomplished something. That's why you have this roller coaster of all the endorphins getting released during workouts, especially intense ones. And so it just gives you all these drugs, right? At the end of the day.
It wasn't until the summer that life would deal Nick not just one, but two unfortunate twists of fate.
2 months ago, within the span of a month, like everything that I could have possibly feared in a relationship came true in 30 days. To keep the story shorter, she slept with my friend, brought him to my family's house in Missouri, didn't tell me. I found out while she was in bed with me, and then from that point forward, she was just doing all these things, like going to bars drunk, getting guys to try to fight me, like all kinds of just crazy stuff. And I was so in love. I was like, forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. And at the end of all that, and in this process, her dad died, and I was so open emotionally. I was there for the whole funeral. I'd never dealt with grief like that and open to it. So that was mixed in there while she had this guy. It was a mental overload for me. And so I had breakdown after breakdown. This is even before the heartbreak started. And then She left me in Missouri with my family after like walking you through the funeral and fighting with her family, and she moved with this guy immediately. And that just destroyed me. 2 days when I got back to Vegas after that turn off was really rough. Had 2 psychotic breaks and then almost tried to kill myself. Got through that period, and obviously Heartbreak started, and you're just in this state where you're just trying to feel better, right? And so that happens, and that shit is rough. Heartbreak is harder than anything I could have ever imagined. It's still hard. And then I was like, okay, it can't get harder than this. Life is challenging. And then, and then 3 weeks ago, I'm in watching the Milwaukee Bucks play the Suns in the stadium. The fucking energy's great. They win this fucking amazing game. I'm like with my buddies. It's like the energy's so high. Like one of the best times of my life that weekend. I'm literally leaving the Bucks stadium. They just won. I'm walking out. I get a call, and I find out that like my oldest friend, we grew up together as kids. There's 4 people in my life that have known me this long. Since we were kids, we built visions together. Shot himself, and that was just like a fucking very different feeling than heartbreak. Different grief, instant. So I went into shock and went out and partied that night, and then I had to go home the next day and just deal with everything because I was the sole heir to all his fortunes. I had to run because just the relationship with his family. So like I had to deal with everything while going through this, and then I dragged my ass to Austin to do an emotional intelligence course, which is where I'm at now. So that's where we're at now. So like a lot of emotional things are happening in my life right now. And in that, I've used all kinds of tricks that I can to work through this emotional shit as much as I can. Exercise being a very big one. When I went through Heartbreak, the initial couple weeks, I was forcing myself to. It started off slow. Like first, like I just knew that moving my body was gonna release endorphins and give me something to focus on. So like, I would wake up and walk in the morning. So only thing I do, and then I started throwing an ice bath, which will shock you out of any.
Oh yeah, I remember the ice bath. Gosh.
Yeah, that releases endorphins, and then I started getting myself to the gym, and just for at least 1 to 2 hours a day, I wasn't thinking about Heartbreak because I was so like focused on the workout, and it almost drives you more, which is crazy. Like there's a period when you're so fucked up, like you can't even focus on the gym, which could be like when you're really in it in the beginning. But once you get through that period and you can start working out more and more, like you will be driven because you're like, oh, I don't want to think about this. Like I'm just gonna smash this bench press, and so it's helped me in so many different ways. Like I said before, it's just like the gym itself is gonna give you community and support, which is important. The physical exercise is gonna build confidence and make you feel better and look better, which is gonna help. And especially if you're going through Heartbreak, you're like, I'm going to attract so much more girls now because of the way I look. Like, it's the whole mental game that you're playing with yourself. And, like, the way that I look at it is when you're working out, when you're moving your lymphatic system, is you're detoxing. You're detoxing the trauma, not only in your brain, but in your body. Like, your body holds trauma. So when you're always, like, sweating and moving, like, you're literally getting that trauma out of your body. You're like, get out of here. I'm done with you. Versus the alternative is sit in bed all day and just ruminate, right? And that doesn't help. Yeah. Like you can do that a little bit, but like it's not gonna move you anywhere. So like for me, the gym has helped, biohacking's helped, and also I tell people is like if you don't want to do the gym, like just go mountain biking. Like find something cool that's physical. If the gym itself, you're not a gym rat. Don't worry about it. Like, just do something physical. Start with walking, whatever. So, I've used it a lot in the last couple months.
You probably see me post a machine where it shows, like, the fat percentage and BMI and all this stuff. Just seeing, like, those numbers change, that gives me, like, motivation, makes me feel good. Kind of like, talk about,
you're tracking
goals.
your performance, right? It gives you actionable, tractionable steps. Like, you're like, oh, my biceps are 1 inch bigger. Like, oh, my God. Why people track their weights? Because it's like, you don't do a bunch of shit and not see progress. Like progress is motivating. Progress is exciting.
Very much. Social interaction. Like I usually live with one of my friends, and it's, I don't know, we just talk about just whatever's on our mind and stuff, and like that's another aspect that gets me to go to the gym, just just hang out and talk.
Yeah.
Like I said, the euphoria I kind of experience in also the sauna. I'm
Yeah.
just like I'm like madly obsessed with the sauna. I hope one day I can have my own sauna, like and steam room. I like both of them, but
You need to get
yeah,
an ice bath too, because if you
yeah,
go from the ice bath
that's
to the sauna and you just go back and forth,
mm,
that will fucking shoot your neurotransmitters up,
mm-hmm,
which is why you feel so good. Like you do a bunch of drugs sometimes.
yeah. It's funny.
That combo is crazy.
Yeah, in Russia they have a thing called the banya, and that's kind of what it was like. You go in like the sauna, and like I don't know what the sticks are. They hit you with like these sticks. It's it's more like a branch with leaves on it because the way I described it sounds awful. Like you
Oh
get beat
yeah,
with a
probably like a
stick.
sweat lodge. Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably do a sweat lodge. Yeah.
But yeah, after that, my friend was like, "Okay, jump in the pool, the ice tub." Jumped in the ice tub. He's like, "All right, go right back in there." So it's back and forth, back and forth. And I got the best sleep of my life that night, and I've done it a couple of times, but that's what it reminded me of when you said the ice
Yeah.
bath.
And you bring up a good point there. Like, one of the best ways to work through some mental health is sleeping. Sleeping is the best medicine. And exercise and ice baths and all that, they help you sleep. You
Hmm.
sleep, like, when I deal with insomnia really bad, if I'm not working out on that day, my insomnia is worse. The days that I work out, my insomnia is not as bad,
Huh.
for sure. And sleep is really important during dealing with mental health, 100%.
Hmm. I experienced technical difficulties related to screen recording or lack thereof, but fortunately, all audio was recorded.
I highly structured the way that I got into fitness because I was not the idol of fitness growing up. So the first thing I tell people is like, it doesn't have to be the gym. If you could just start with just moving every day, that could be sports, that could be hiking, that could be biking. That's a great start because you want to have some kind of motivation. And the goal here is to build and form a habit, which they take on average 21 days. So anything you can do in 20 days, then it gets easier. And so, and you don't start big. Like, you can start really small. Like, it can be like 10 push-ups a day, then 11 push-ups the next day. Like what I did in the beginning, just to like get my brain trained and doing something physical outside of like sports and stuff and running and exercising and playing. Like playing is a good way to like physically move. Because that's like the first key is like physically move. And then figure out what your goals are. Like my first goal that I started working out just literally was like I wanted to get better mental cognitive function. Like I was in college, so I wanted to get more clarity, mental cognitive function. So I just knew that like I just need to move and pump out endorphins to get this thing working well. And then later on, I was like, all right, how do I build a body structure? And that was weightlifting. So, for instance, what I did is I literally put a pull-up bar in my bathroom door. It's the only thing I had, and every time I go to the bathroom, I do pull-ups. And so I trained my brain just to be like used to working out. So like build your environment to support you through the habit building. Hang out with people that like working out. Get friends that like working out. Go to like workout groups. Go to freaking anything where people love working out, and the community itself will help you. They'll like get you excited. They'll teach you what to do. Community support is a big one. Then at your home, I don't know, put up workout posters, put up fitness equipment in your room. Like you can train your brain subconsciously to learn new habits by all these tricks. And so your first goal is get to the 21 days doing something consistently physical. And then after that 21 days, you've got a habit to work on, and it gets easier. The workouts don't get easier, but it's easier just to say yes versus like you're fighting this huge uphill battle. Like, it's so hard to work out because you get addicted to the endorphins. Like, ice baths are a great example. Ice baths never get warmer. They're always fucking cold. But you get so addicted to how you feel afterwards, that's what your brain remembers. So you just like get an ice bath, you're like, this sucks every time, but you like know what's coming, and that's what's addicting. And that's what happens working out. Like, you embrace the suck because you know what's gonna come, and you know the benefits. And then of course all the benefits come, right? Your physical body looks better, your mental state feels better, like all these things happen. Like there's a reason why everyone's New Year's resolution always has, I'm gonna work out more in it because it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all the benefits, but really the most important thing is that first month. Like pick something that is challenging. Don't make it too easy, or there's no growth that you can focus on and be like, I'm going to turn this into a natural habit. Drink water every day, that's a habit. You freaking drink coffee all the time, you've built that habit. And you also can use this time. What I do when I build new habits is I build one new one and I break a bad one in a month. So like, all right, I'm gonna build a habit of like I'm gonna do pull-ups every day for a month, and I'm gonna break a habit of like I'm gonna get up, be on my phone before bed the last hour. So for 30 days, I'm gonna break a bad habit. I'm gonna build a new one. It's a really cool way to like subjugate your life and flip it around. Exercise can change your mind, and it can change your body, and it just helps you deal with life and take advantage of what life can offer so much better. Like a big reason, like when I was living in Austria, I was living in the Alps. I was hiking a shitload, and I was hiking a lot, not because I wanted to be in shape. It's just because I wanted to be able to run farther in the mountains without getting tired. I just hated being tired. So like if I work out more, I can see more cool stuff in the Alps. And that's what exercise does. It like gives you this opportunity to enjoy life more, like, you know, not slacking on people that are working out, but like if you're in a bunch of, you're on a hike with a bunch of people, and you're the dude in the back dying, you're not looking at all the beauty because you're so tired. I'm in the front, like not even phased. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, the birds and the bees, and like, so you can literally just get more out of life because you've trained to just like not be tired. That's what I tell people. I was like, practice super hard, so when the game comes, game's easy. That's how I am with life. I was like, I just work out. Why the reason I worked out was when opportunities came my way that I was gonna go like hike across the mountains or go biking, like I would be way more in shape than I needed to be, that I could just be like, I'm gonna have a shitload of fun because I'm not gonna be tired at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so do that. That's a great way to look at exercise too. Way to enjoy life. Once you start, it can get addicting, honestly.
A healthy addiction.
Healthy addiction, that's what we shoot for in life.